Good evening, everybody. Happy Thursday here. It is 9 o'clock. It's time for Off the Board with me, the big man on campus, a show where we make live betting great again. We also talk second halves and a little late night betting as well. We'll get into that, maybe throw out a few of our favorite plays here as the late night card commences. We will try to find a winner or two on the card. So hopefully you're having a great Thursday afternoon. It is still bitter cold out, man. Still very cold. But hopefully some end is in sight. I looked a little earlier at the weather, and supposedly it's going to get a bit warmer out. So I'm not sure it's going to get much warmer, but suppose if you're actually out there and you don't believe that there's something going on in the world from a climate perspective, just think about this. Last night where I'm at, it was around 0, 1 or 2 degrees, 0. You look at today, it was a high of, it's 10 or so. You look at Tuesday, okay, it's going to be 60. Cut me a freaking break. Now, you don't think something's going on with our climate. And this is downright ridiculous. It's weird. We wonder why we're all sick. But there's no problem with global warming. Give me a break. Crazy. But hey, we'll try to keep capping. We'll try to keep winning. Everybody hopefully enjoys the show tonight. We hope to have our guest tonight, Greg Peterson. Should be joining us any minute now. I think he was having a bit of a sound issue. We weren't able to hear him, but we will press on and hope he will be able to join us. Do us a favor. Make sure you are hitting the like button and supporting the show. I want to get into some of these games that are coming down to the wire, and we have a lot of them here tonight. We'll update some NBA and get you prepared for the late night games here. But first, we got to finish up what is going on here. I want to first start with college basketball. Lot of games. Obviously, the big one tonight was Penn State and Purdue. Purdue holding on to a 3-point lead here with about 3.5 minutes to go. Do we have Greg? Greg, are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine. I don't know what happened. Maybe a little muffled issue. I don't know, but we can hear you now, Greg. Greg Peterson, everybody, GUnit_81 on Twitter. You've seen him on VSiN. You've seen him on the College Hoops Betting Overtime podcast. He's everywhere. He's the kid that bets all the games. He's the polar opposite of me betting-wise, but he's here. He's one of our favorites. Greg, looking to break down the card. How you doing tonight? What's happening with you?
Not too much. Just having a good night. Wearing a nice shirt because I'm going to go out on a nice, fine date. So you know what? It's a good night.
How about that, Greg? Still going strong, I see. It's funny, Greg. I'm happy to see you. Everything's worked out for you with that chick. I know you had an interesting way of meeting her, and now look at you. You're happy. Are you in love yet, or what?
I hope so. I am.
How about that?
The other way is. We're trying.
I can relate to Greg on one level because when he told me about this chick, he made a comment to me and said that he's hitting way out of his league. And I said to myself, you know what? I agree with you because like Greg, I also hit way out of my league. The girl I'm with is way too good for me, and somehow she likes me. So I am as confident as I am. Sometimes I can be a bit bashful. Greg is in the same predicament, right, Greg? You hit a little out of your league, didn't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Greg hit a grand slam. I hit a grand slam as well. But hey, it's not a bad problem to have, Greg. That's what my father told me. He told me, hey, listen, if these are the problems you're having, I hope you don't have any real problems. So hey, it's all worked out. So hey, if you're out there, you're down on your luck. What I could imagine, what I could tell you is either wait for it to happen to you, or go out and give it a shot. Shoot or shoot, as they say. We're talking basketball. Greg, shoot or shoot. Sometimes you got to take a shot in life. You got to take a risk. And Looks like Greg has, and he's paid off. Look at Greg. What a life. He lives in Vegas. It's not 10 degrees where he lives. He's got a beautiful girl to take out. He's bet 120 games tonight. What could be better, Greg? I mean, you're living the life out there.
I don't know. I am the Carmelo Anthony of life. I just keep shooting.
Oh man, that's a good one. The Carmelo of life. That's again, if I could aspire to be something, that's who I would want to be. I am sweating a game here, Greg, and I got a feeling I'm not going to hit it. People ask me all the time, is there a team that gives you trouble? And yes, there is. The Temple Owls, of course, the team that I support. It just seems like every time I back this team, Greg, they find a way to fuck me, if I could say so myself. Houston really with a poor performance tonight, just no sort of energy. I mean, they can't do much of anything. It's been hard to watch. I hope for a backdoor cover here. I hope for something cool to go my way, but I might go down with a loss tonight after a nice start to the week. What are you on in this game? Were you on anything here?
I did take the under. That is looking very, very good at this point. But I, like you, laid the points with Houston. So we're going to need some free throws at the end of this game, my friend.
Yeah, kind of irritating, frankly. I really looked at this game from many ways. You look at Temple. I just felt at this point like at what point were they just going to really get kind of beaten up with some of the losses they've had? And you had to go on the road. You had a team in revenge who's playing defense at a very high level, and it's not like the defense hasn't been good tonight from Houston. Um, the problem they have, I think, Greg, is a lot like Michigan from a long term perspective. While they have a lot of players, they just aren't very good offensively. It continues to be a problem. But it's the way the Temple would play defense lately. I mean, this team is dead last in the conference in 2-point defense. They've really had issues, and I thought it was a nice matchup, especially being at home. I thought you'd come out with a lot more fervor, and you went into the half up 6. You're thinking, oh, okay, perfect. Make some adjustments, go out on a little 7-0 run to start the half. They come out and they're just very flat. I'm not a big Kelvin Sampson guy. Never have been. I find him to be a little irritating. We're going to need some luck here, Greg, in this one. But, I think you kind of would agree. This was kind of, I thought, a great spot for the Cougars tonight.
Absolutely. And I think part of the problem is they're just a little bit cold from three. This is a team that they've got a bunch of guys that shoot in the high 30s from distance. Tonight, 4 of 18 from three. If one or two of those fall, right now we'd be looking at maybe not a cover, but we'd be right in it. So Houston just off their night from the three-point arc, especially in the Fertitta Center where they typically play really well.
Yeah. Again, game's not over yet. It's a 7-point game with about a minute to go. You're going to need luck here. It sucks because we sometimes have this where we're kind of sitting on a game and, this is Temple though. I mean, it's not enough, but it's enough to screw you. And that's really what Temple's been for me this year. And sometimes you have to, I think the big misconception, Greg, sometimes with gambling is bettors are too quick to jump off a team. Oh, that team screwed me. They lost by double digits or they were up double digits and lost, so I'm not going to back them anymore. I haven't done that with Temple. I see bettable places against them and I've been betting them and against them. But this is the third time this year, Greg, that I bet against Temple. One of them was against Davidson. Davidson blew an 8-point lead with 2 minutes to go in overtime and didn't get a cover. I had him the other night. I took Memphis against Temple, getting 5. Memphis lose by 8. I bet against them again tonight. Now, when I don't bet on them and I just stay away, or I bet on them, they blow leads left and right. It's just really been, for a team that I support, it's been irritating for sure. But we'll kind of root this one in. Greg, couple other games of note here. Penn State, we talked about that game. That game is tied with about 2 minutes to go. How about that? What were you on there? I know I kind of leaned with the points with the Nittany Lions. So it was a nice spot to maybe back a dead dog here, maybe a team that hasn't won again, hasn't won this year in the Big Ten. Maybe team coming off a big win, maybe a little flat in a sleepy atmosphere. Penn State doing some nice things tonight up at Bryce Jordan.
Yeah, I wound up laying the points here with Purdue. Looked really good in the first half, and all of a sudden Penn State has went bonkers. This is a team that has played no offense to speak of, and right now we're looking at an 83-83 game against a Purdue team that they've actually been pretty good on the defensive end so far this year. So this one was one that I really did not see coming. I thought that Penn State would have been held below 70 points, and the exact opposite has happened here in the second half.
Yeah, this is it's impressive from Penn State. They sometimes look like again dead. I mean, they don't even win this year in the Big Ten. I mean, Rutgers has 4. That's how tough it's been tonight for or this year for the Nittany Lions. They're a young team. You lose guys like Tony Carr and Shep Garner, and they've struggled. But hey, you never know. Sometimes you just need a little kick in the ass, as they say. Greg, do want to update you here. 7-point game, Houston at the line. Again, we're going to need help. I got a weird feeling this is going to fall on 9, and I'm going to lose by half a point, Greg. Let's root this in here. I'll do a little play-by-play here. It is 73-64, 27 seconds to go. Temple is going to take a timeout. So, Greg, when we come back from a timeout, we're going to do a little play-by-play. We're going to have a little fun here. Murray State down at half. This Gamecock Jacksonville State team, Greg, they're tough. Ron Harper's team playing well. Murray State, sometimes, I think a lot of the time, dependent on John Morant. They're going to need something to help them in the second half because they are down right now on the road to Jacksonville State.
Yeah, Jacksonville State, a team that they have quite a few bigs, and people forget about Jason Burnell, too. He's a guy that he's one of the best players out there in the Ohio Valley Conference, averaging, 18, 19 points per game, pulls in some rebounds. Leader in assists for Jacksonville State. They've got Cunningham down low. They've got guys like Marlin that are able to shoot threes. So I actually do like Jacksonville State, and they've been a good bet on team the last 2 months. I believe that they're 11-7 against the spread, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they've done a nice job. I've always been a fan of Ray Harper. He did a good job at West Kentucky. He's done some good things at Jacksonville State as well. All right, Greg, here we go. 9-point game. 73-64, 27 and a half seconds to go. We got to hope that Temple jacks a 3, misses, and we get another foul here. Quentin Rose going in for 2, and he makes it. 7-point game, of course. We're going to play the foul game here. Houston inbounding. They found him, and he's going to be fouled right away. Actually, not right away. Oh, my God. Temple steals it. No, they don't. Temple doesn't steal it. Temple, what are they doing? Well, Temple steals it. What is going on here? Greg, they're just swatting at this guy, and they will not call a foul. And now Houston's turned it over, I believe. This game is not going to cover. What an absolutely embarrassing performance tonight from Houston. I know they'll just suck it up and say, we won the game, but this has been an ugly performance tonight from Houston, and they're going to go down tonight laying 9.5 points. What do you say? It's just how it goes sometimes, Greg. We're going to fall on our sword with this one. So we will move on. We can't lament about it forever. And we're going to go to another game. Greg, let's go to actually some games that haven't started yet here. We have a couple. Gonzaga BYU, the big one. I kind of like the over in this game. Seems a bit low to me. I think Gonzaga will push 90s in this game. Or 95 in that range. BYU, I think, is a team that could put up 75-ish. I think this game is should be a little bit closer to 170 as opposed to 160.
Yeah, this one opened up right around 168, 169. I took it under at that number, but at this point, I would probably look over too. I could see this being something like you said, maybe a 90-77. 85-80 style game. It's one of those things where I see this total being right around 163, 164. So at this number, I would go over. And one thing that I would like to point out is that I had Josh Applebaum of the Action Network on my podcast yesterday. Something that he noticed is that totals with a total of over 150 in conference that gets steamed down by at least a point. If you take the under in those games, you've been cashing 66% of the time. So typically when you see the steam come in on the under in these huge numbers, it typically does go under, and I wouldn't doubt that a lot of these games middle.
Yeah, I kind of like this over. I kind of thought this number was weird all day, and you're right. We've seen some of these big moves where you have a big move down. We haven't really seen them come in. Sometimes you get, like you said, a middle. I don't understand this move down, Greg. Do you? I mean, do you understand this? I don't get this.
I understand the move down from like 168, 169, but seeing it go this far, that's a little bit shocking to me because We both know BYU, they play essentially the Ole defense. Meanwhile, for Gonzaga, should I name the names? Killian Tilly, Gino Crandall. You've got Josh Perkins. Kisper is able to make productions. I haven't even mentioned Zach Norvell Jr., Brandon Clark. I mean, you've got weapons upon weapons upon weapons for this team.
Hachimura. Yeah. No, I hear you. I'm kind of perplexed at this one too. I think it falls like around maybe 165 ish. I'd be very happy with that. Even if you put out 165 right now, I'd probably bet the game over. I mean, BYU is a sieve on defense. I guess the only thing you're hoping you don't see here is a close game. I kind of want this game to be within 10, 12 points where, we kind of have up and down basketball. Late in games, the possession is a little bit more drawn out. I hope, you don't want to see that in a game like this. But I think for sure this game's 90-75 or something. I like the game over. This is one play I like for the show here, taking a game late. I like the over in this game at 163. I'm going to look to get on that. Greg, Oregon, Utah, battle of teams of old that have had some success. It's never easy to go play at the Huntsman Center. Utah laying 3, total 133.5. Oregon has been a big disappointment this year.
Oregon has been a pretty massive disappointment, but it seems like they're playing a little bit of basketball, a little bit better basketball. Amin has not been what we thought he was going to be. The graduate transfer from Texas A&M Corpus Christi hasn't panned out, but what I like is that Paul White and Luis King seem to be playing some better basketball. King is shooting right around 39% from 3 for this Oregon team, gives them a versatile force. Paul White, I believe, was 3 and 5 from 3 in their game against Washington State. So you've got some versatile big men. Peyton Pritchard is a guy that started in the Final Four, but his three-point shooting percentage is way down this year. He's right around 32, 33%. Last year, he was more around 40%, so he needs to pick it up a little bit. But when you take a look at Utah, this is a team that they've got a bunch of versatile big men that shoot threes, but they're just too reliant in the backcourt on Cedric Bearfield. If Bearfield is off his game, Utah is going to get crushed in this game. Meanwhile, if he's on his game, they're probably going to be able to win and cover. I think that Oregon's defense is going to be good enough to stay with Bearfield, which is why I took Oregon on the money line.
Interesting. Yeah, I haven't seen much from Utah. They've been a bad defensive team for a lot of the season. Have won 4 in a row, though. Keep in mind, 3 of those have been against Stanford, Cal, and Washington State. So not a lot to really write home about there. One of the commenters talking about Gonzaga being 9-2 to the under their last 11 games. Yeah, I mean, while that's true, I mean, this is where I think trends are far behind. They're not looking into who you're playing. Gonzaga, for most of this schedule over the last 11 games, really since Christmas, have played absolutely no one outside of San Francisco. This is a terrible conference outside of San Francisco, Brigham Young, St. Mary's, and maybe throw in 1 or 2 more. They also played 4 or 5 games out of conference against some of the worst offenses in the country. UT Arlington, Denver, Northern Alabama, Bakersfield. I mean, Pacific is terrible. These totals are too high, and Gonzaga's scoring a lot of points, but the teams that they're playing aren't. Gonzaga's holding teams in certain games to 40, 50, even 39 points. While if trends are there, I think some of them are very loose with, saying a team's 9-2 to the under over the last 11. Well, yeah, because the numbers are high, but the team they're playing really hasn't given much in the way of production. So I wouldn't be bullied into taking an under because you got to look a little bit more into what Gonzaga has played and who they played. Also, 6 of the last 8 meetings have gone under. Okay, I get it, but those are different teams, way different. This is the most efficient offense in the country against a team that plays little to no defense. Now, look, if you like the under, take it. Here's the problem, though, also. You're betting it at the absolute worst number. I can't bring myself, Greg, to bet on a total that's dropped 5 points. If I didn't get it at 168, I'm not going to compound it by making a bet and then betting it at the worst number. It's just not something I want to do. I'll just chalk it up and say, well, I missed that one. Didn't cap that one good, and now I don't get the best number. There's no way I'm betting an under, Greg, at 163 when I could have got 167 or 166 or 168. Just not good betting philosophy.
Exactly. If you're taking these unders that have been steamed down by so much, you're not going to be successful in this industry. I am the exact same way. It's why I'm always firing on the overnight numbers. I always want to try to get the best number. Now, sometimes it works against you. Sometimes you think a line's going to move one way, it moves the complete opposite. You're going to be the victim of that. And I've taken a couple losses on it. But when you see a game and it's like, I like this under at 168, then you see it at like 162 and a half, 163, you got to just sit there and be like, oh man, you missed it. Because I can't tell you how many people on Twitter ask me, do you still like to play at this number? And it's like, when you're asking me this question, if I say yes and it doesn't come through, that is a you problem, not necessarily a me problem, because you gotta you just gotta try to get on these numbers quickly, because when you're firing a couple minutes before the game and you're on the side that got steamed, you are missing out on a whole lot of value, because as you know, trying to buy points in college basketball at these books, they're essentially worth 10 cents. So if a line moves by 4 points, you've essentially missed out on 80 cents worth of value. Or I should say, a half point is worth 10 cents.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I can't bring myself to do it. It's just not for me. So yeah, look, if I like the under here, which I don't, I vehemently I'm on the other side. But if I did, I would just kind of chalk this one up and say, well, again, I guess I might have just missed the best of it. Let's move it on here. Surprising result tonight, Greg. Iona loses again. Iona, what a terrible conference that is. That MAC conference. That conference is pure, complete shit, man. Jesus Christ. What a terrible conference.
And you take a look at the Fairfield versus Manhattan game. Manhattan had one of their better offensive outputs of the year. 62 points. A 62 to 49 game. I'm really curious to see what happens when Manhattan plays against Iona. Manhattan, the worst offensive team I have ever seen, that shoots 56% at the free throw line. Meanwhile, Iona, a team that can't guard their own shadow. I mean, seriously, what are we going to get when that game goes down? I think that you probably see a total of what? The Ryder versus Manhattan game had a total of 140. It went under easily. What would you make that total? 139?
Yeah, I mean it's tough. I mean it's so possession driven where it's either going to be whoever can kind of connect on their tempo. But I hate that conference. Like I think it's trash. Like I feel like, and that's why I almost feel annoyed that if like Lipscomb doesn't get in from an automatic bid or from an at large, it's like, well, and screw the MAC. We don't need anyone from the MAC in the tournament. Like that's what sucks about sometimes with this automatic bid stuff, because it's like, do we honestly need a bid from the SWAC or the MAC at this point? Like, seriously? I mean, or like some of these conferences where the play is just poor. Like Greg, let me ask you: would you be upset if the Pac-12 got no bids? Like they just said, "Oh, guys aren't good enough, no bids."
I would just completely laugh and say you get what you deserve, because this conference is awful this year. Maybe Washington deserves to be in the NCAA tournament. They've been playing some good basketball, but what they do out of conference? They lose to Auburn. They lose to Virginia Tech. Not looking good in either of those games. So when you compare the Pac-12 against all the other conferences, they're not good. Heck, if you had a Pac-12 versus West Coast Conference essentially challenge, I think the West Coast Conference probably gets at least 40% of the wins.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think it's kind of amazing how, and that's where I think the one thing about the tournament I don't like, and there aren't many. I love the tournament. I think it's a terrific tournament, but like I think rewarding like certain conferences where like if you have like let's say everyone but like two teams are below 500, like they shouldn't be able to get a tournament bid. Like there has to be some. I mean, they can't do it. It'd be hard to do it, but I don't know. It's just sometimes like you'll see a team get in the tournament that was 11 and 23 in their season. It's like because they won a game or two when they needed to and they made a run, but yeah, it's tough to watch the Pac-12. A couple comments here. Where did I want to go here? Where did I want to go? I wanted to bring up something. By the way, a quick NBA note: Pacers Magic total stays under 207.5, and I'm a winner in that one. Thank God. We'll get to some NBA once we wrap up with Greg. We get the Battle of LA between the Lakers and Clippers. LeBron James will play tonight. And then you get the Sixers Warriors and a very high total there, 240.5 between Embiid and Cousins. Curry against Butler. Going to be a fun one out in California tonight. Two big games. LeBron is back. LeBron has been gone for a while. It's been a few weeks since we've seen him. Greg, couple other games here, and then we will let you go. Cal Irvine against Santa Barbara. Yet another game where UCSB is near a pick'em. This time they're a favorite. You can get 1.5 still at betonline.com or betonline.ag. Irvine, a little bit different, very defensive minded, play very slow under Russell Turner. Seem like maybe the sharp side here. What do you like, Craig? UCSB starting to maybe get going a little bit.
UCSB is, but the question is, what are you going to get out of Max Hediger? He's a guy that averaged 19 points per game last year. He was sensational. You could tell that he's just not himself. UC Irvine, I think, is going to have the advantage out low. They've got a guy in Galloway that pulls in 8 rebounds per game. He's an absolute load. He only scores like 6.5 points per game, but I like what he's able to do. And then Max Hazard is a guy that's been emerging for UC Irvine as a little bit more of a go-to scorer. He's averaging 12 points. Obviously, you've got Armand Davis, who does a great job for UC Santa Barbara. The graduate transfer from Alabama has been sensational this year. I just think that this is going to be a really, really slow, grind 'em out game, which is why I took the under in this one. And I think that UC Irvine wins a game that takes basketball back to the dark ages, something like 62-60. This is a really, really close and evenly matched game.
Yeah, Greg, you make a good point on Heidegger. I followed him a lot in the preseason just to kind of see what his story was. I've noticed this year, Greg, and in past years, over the last couple of years, players that get concussions seem to never really get back at it throughout the season. It's been a weird run. I know, Heidegger's had some trouble with it. I've seen players in years past that when they get a concussion, they just kind of they're just kind of out of their element for a while. It's kind of weird how in football you get a concussion, you're back within a week or two. I know Anthony Lamb up at Vermont has a concussion. Players have kind of not been the same player, and Heidegger's been kind of one of those after suffering a concussion. Tough game for me. I kind of lean Santa Barbara. I think they're the best team in this conference, but it again is one of those lines where it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Keep in mind, Irvine has won 6 of 7. This should be a nice battle tonight out there. Any thought on Loyola Marymount against Pacific? Yeah, we've talked about Pacific before. I just hate the way they run offense. It's just kind of jumbled and a mess. Decent defensive team, but not a ton really to really look at and like with Pacific. Any thoughts on that, Greg?
Matthias Markuson is just going to take Pacific to task down low. He's 7'2". They just don't have the size to be able to match up with him with Tripp and Towns. Meanwhile, you take a look at James Bateman. I like what he's doing on offense for Loyola Marymount. And Loyola Marymount, one of the best defensive teams in the country. We've noted Pacific is just a team that really does not generate much offense whatsoever. And Bateman is a guy that averages 17 points, couple of assists. He does some good things on offense. I don't see either team being able to get to 70 points in this game. I think it's going to be lower scoring once again, but I think that Loyola Marymount could legitimately get a double-digit win in this game. I think that they are head and shoulders better than Pacific, a team that I have just really soured on.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. Not much on that one for me. One other one, Greg, 2 other ones, Pepperdine and Portland. Pepperdine has played pretty well this year under Lorenzo Romar. What do you like there?
All about Pepperdine in this spot. You just can't bet Portland at this point. I mean, JoJo Walker, he's a nice guard, and Shaver puts in 15 points per game, but Kobe Ross has been sensational for Pepperdine, shooting over 40% from 3, gives out over 7 assists per game. You've got Cooper Jr. able to make some production as well. This is a Pepperdine team that, as a unit, one of the better three-point shooting teams that you're going to find in Portland. They don't do much right at all. They have no size whatsoever, and that's Pepperdine's kryptonite. They don't have a lot of guys that can rebound. And with Portland also not being able to rebound, how are they supposed to be able to match up with Pepperdine in this one? Portland is a team that they don't play well on defense. They don't play out well on offense. They turn the ball over a lot. There's just no redeeming qualities with the Pilots in this spot.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Cal Poly St. Louis Obispo against UC Riverside. Again, I don't bet much Big West, so I don't have much on this one. Joe Clara's teams are never good. Riverside is bad also. Anything you like here, Greg?
Well, it looks like Jordan Gilliam might be out once again for UC Riverside, but they've got a guy in Dikembe Martin that's doing sensational for this team. He's averaging over 16 points per game, shoots 45% from three. And you see Riverside actually has a couple guys that can bomb it from distance. They've been kicking up their offense a little bit. Meanwhile, for Cal Poly, yeah, they have Hank Collingsworth down low. He averages 5.5 rebounds per game. Donovan Fields, guy that pours in 16.5 points, gets a couple assists. But this Cal Poly team, even though they've got a couple guys that are able to shoot it from three, they just do a bad job of being able to get quality possessions. I don't know what it is about this Cal Poly team, because if they actually didn't turn the ball over and they were actually more efficient in regards to the overall flow of their offense, this would be a decent team. But I just can't get behind Cal Poly at this point. I want to blame the points here with Riverside.
Greg, I know you do a lot of bracketology. I like to mess with it myself. I've talked all week how I really believe that Lipscomb is an at-large team. I know Lipscomb is in the Atlantic Sun, and I know they're not looked upon well when it comes to the committee. First of all, what are your thoughts on Lipscomb? And second of all, you have to agree that they're an at-large candidate with their schedule and what they've done.
They absolutely have to be. I'm right there with you. I mean, the fact that they were able to go on the road and knock off TCU earlier this year was big. They took that loss to Clemson, but they were pretty close in that game as well. And this is a team that they just completely housed Liberty in a game that was the 7th this century between two teams that were 7-0 in conference this year inside their own conference. So I thought that was really interesting. This is a team that they go so fast up tempo as well. Obviously, the committee is looking less at those sorts of things. But all in all, when you look at Lipscomb, they do look like an at-large team here, in my opinion. I want them to get in over some team from the stupid Pac-12, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I thought the other night they were terrific against the Liberty Flames. I mean, on the road, they just play a great brand of basketball. That motion offense is fantastic to watch. Greg, who are you? Have you completed a bracket so far as your number one seeds? Who are your number one seeds right now?
Ooh, if I were to pick it today, I haven't really been doing as much with it, but I think that you obviously have to have Tennessee as a number one seed right now, even though they're a team that I don't feel like is worthy of a number one seed. But if you take a look at their overall body of work, they have to be there. I would probably be leaning towards Gonzaga having won those number one seeds as well. I really like what they've been able to do. And then when you take a look at those other two, you probably have to consider Michigan at this point because they do have only one loss, and Virginia. I think that Virginia is worthy of a number one seed, even though they have that loss to Duke, and Duke was able to beat them. Duke right now has 2 losses. Virginia has 1. So for that reason, I would have Virginia edging out Duke.
Yeah, I could agree with that. That's one reason I like you, Greg, because you are also you're not a fan of this Tennessee team. I look again. Right now, they're the best team in the country. I get it. They're ranked number one. I again don't think they're as talented as other teams. And I don't give them the respect. I think they'll lose to Kentucky, and they're really just holding the number one seed until then. I don't think that this weekend it's a lock either to beat Florida. It's a tough game. By the way, Purdue covers. Tough beat if you had Penn State. Dogs are going to die in overtime. That's what happens. Nice cash for you, Greg, on Purdue. That's a tough beat if you had Nittany Lions. But, Greg, give me a team you love that's not in the top 50 that can make a run.
That can make a run. I was about to say, to bet on Eastern Illinois has actually made me a whole boatload of money so far this year, but a team not in the top 50 that I think could make some noise in college basketball. That's a tough one to think of right now, but I mean, there are a bunch of teams that if they get in out of the Southern Conference, I think that they could really make a run. Teams like East Tennessee State, they were able to cover tonight against Samford. Samford's another one of those teams. They've got a good point guard in Josh Sharkey, Ruben Guerrero down low. Meanwhile, for ETSU, they've got a guy in Jeremy Rodriguez that pulls in 11.5 rebounds per game. They're not necessarily going to light you up from distance, but I like them. You've got Wofford, guy in Fletcher McGee that is one of the best spot-up shooters in the country. They're able to play some good defense. Storm Murphy, very efficient at the point guard spot. So, like what they do, they've got a guy down low that's able to shoot right around 45% from three. I believe it's Cameron Johnson that is doing that as well. So I pretty much look at the whole Southern Conference as being loaded with sleepers that if they get in the NCAA tournament, they can win a game or two.
Great stuff, Greg. Always good to talk to you. Have fun on your date tonight, and we'll talk to you again next week. Just a programming note as well. I'm on Greg's podcast tonight. It'll be out there, I'm sure, soon in the Twitter world. We had some real good conversation, Greg, I thought, on some betting theory and how to bet college basketball and that kind of stuff.
Yes, we did. It is going to be up at midnight Pacific, 3 o'clock a.m. Eastern. College Hoops Overtime Betting. You can subscribe to it on Apple, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, or TuneIn. It's a really good thing, and I give all my plays and my reasoning for it for Friday as well. I also dive into a couple of Twitter questions as well. I know that people were curious on totals and how to bet them in regards to early games, and I get into that too because obviously on Saturday I go through a lot of plays that aren't really able to answer Twitter questions, so a little bit of a primer there for you guys.
Great stuff, Greg. Thanks for coming on as always. We will talk to you again next week. Good luck, man.
Jeff, always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. See you. Greg Peterson, everybody. You can follow him on Twitter at GUnit_81. GUnit like 50 Cents crew. What's up, DJ Big Boss, Rob Job, Josh, Greg, Nolly, Chris Reese, AB, everybody in here. Cap'n 24/7, RS Jacobs, Matt, Tim, BK Capper, everybody. Welcome in. We do appreciate it. So I go down tonight, lose with Houston, minus the points. They win by 7, laying 9.5. What are you going to do? I've said before, I said on my show tonight, even if Houston lost, I was very happy with my cap. I thought it was the best play on the board. Look, you can't win every game, and those things happen. So we'll keep trudging on and hopefully bounce back tomorrow and over the weekend. I did throw out a free play tonight on the Weber State Wildcats. That game is just getting going. I think it started at 9. We have a score there. I'm going to try to find it here if I can. There's so many games on the board. The Weber State Wildcats are playing tonight against the Portland State Vikings, up 21-18, 7 minutes to go in the first half. Still plenty of time to go there. Let's go to the NBA. I want to update everyone on the contest, and we got 2 games tonight to talk about with the odds. Like I said, I did hit Indiana and Orlando under 207.5. I believe I had under 207.5. I want to believe and make sure I did. I'm sure I pushed. I'm sure I got like 207. Just got a shitty number. I believe I might have probably. That won't surprise me. Yeah, of course. I got 207.5. Didn't I? Did I? Fuck, man. Did I? I don't know. Maybe I won. I don't know. I want to say I got 207.5. I got 2 plays pending as well. I'm on the Bucks plus 2.5. They're up 15. And I'm on the up 13. I'm sorry. Or no, up 15. And I'm on the Brooklyn Nets plus 7.5. And they're up. So hopefully we can have a nice finish to plays tonight and go have a nice positive record here. That would be nice, wouldn't it, people? Yes, I did win tonight. Yes, boom, 3-0. We're coming for you. Let's do this. Let's hope King Rail is on the opposite sides. King Rail is on the Raptors. Good. I'm head-to-head with him there. And he's on the Spurs. Woo! He's on the opposite side of both my picks, baby. This could be a big night for the big man on campus. We must stay abreast of what's going on here. I'm on the Bucks. King is on the Raptors. I am on the Nets, and he's on the Spurs. So we could have a big night, people. A real big night. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see how it goes, obviously. We don't want to jump ahead quickly. And he's already lost tonight as well. This could really change this competition around. Everybody stay tuned. He had the Detroit Pistons, and they won by 4, laying 4.5. Ouch. Tough loss there. You got to figure what the hell was up with Detroit tonight, how they couldn't beat the pathetic Dallas Mavericks, who don't have anyone playing tonight. That's just sometimes how the NBA goes. But this is a big This is a big night in this contest. Big night in this competition. Let's see how it goes. No, the challenge. We have 81 picks. It's not till February 14th. We got another 2 weeks in this contest, so we're looking forward to it. King is a good NBA handicapper, so I'm looking to see how tonight ends. We still have a lot of time left. Anything could happen. It's the NBA. That's how it goes sometimes. Let's break down these games here. I'm not on either of them, but I didn't. I just didn't include them in my contest. Doesn't mean I'm not going to get on them. Golden State and the Sixers. Golden State 8.5 or 9 mostly. Total is 240.5. Obviously, money coming in the Warriors per usual. This should be a high-scoring game. Obviously, the total is 240. I'll probably wait for a second half in this game, just kind of be able to survey and see what's going on. Should be a high-scoring game. I mean, the Sixers play no defense. I think Embiid and Cousins will be a marathon back and forth. Should be a fun game. That's one thing I do know. I don't really have much on the side. Lean Sixers, frankly. I think this is a few too many points. They're kind of talking about the Sixers like they're the Kings or something. I think the Sixers are a bit better than this. I'd put this line at like 6.5, 7, not 9. So I think the Sixers have a little value here. Maybe we'll see if we can get like a 9.5. We still have a little over an hour until this one gets going. And then the Clippers-Lakers tonight out in Staples. You have the Lakers laying 1. Total is 232. And you want to know what LeBron James means? I'll tell you what LeBron James means. You look at it 5 dimes currently. This was at 5:21 Eastern. The Clippers are 4-point favorites. 4-point favorites. They're now 1-point dog. The Clippers were as high as 7.5 when they opened. They were up to 6 at one point. They came down a bit. Little Laker buyback. I think this is the common thing about who sharps are and who the regular people are. Sharps are people that are truly like they go out and get info. Like they're the first thing. They're the people that know like someone in the training staff. And LeBron comes in and gets tested. He's like, all right, I'm good. The first person they go to is these people. They're big syndicates with, tons, and you don't know who they are. There's tons of backing. Those are the people. Those are the ones that get this info and move and dictate the line. Those are the people that are sharp. Sharp are not people that sit in their house and try to beat the line. That's not sharp. They're not getting this info. The info is going to other people that we don't know who they are. They're people that are, the powers that be, but they know this info before we do, and they're getting the best of these numbers. They're the ones clipping these numbers early and, getting the 168s in the Gonzaga games and, stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, as far as this, I mean, there's so much here. I got to tell you, I would probably, now that LeBron James is back, I'd lean over. One thing I learned about the Clippers, they are complete trash. From a defensive standpoint, I kind of like the Lakers, to be honest. I hate them. Be on like this, but I think you're getting a nice price here with the Lakers. Obviously, LeBron being back, how much is he going to play tonight? But there's still 1s and 1.5s out there. There's a 1.5 right now. I'll tell you what, I'm going to get on that. I'm going to bet on that. I'm taking the Lakers tonight -1.5. I can still get it at 5dimes.com. I'm taking that. Lakers -1.5. That's our late play of the night here in the NBA. Taking the Lakers. It's very square. I know. I hate being on the public side here. The whole world's on the Lakers tonight, but I'm not betting it big. Put it that way. I'm not betting this for a unit or anything. I feel like I'm still getting value here. When I can get LeBron James and the Lakers, I think the Clippers stink. Like seriously. I think outside of like Lou Williams, there's just not a lot there. So for the sake of the show, we'll go with that. Oh man, Kuzma back too. Guys, I have to tell you, I gotta break something down to you, and I gotta tell you all something. And I never like to admit this, but I am tired today. Wow. I've done a lot of shows today. Like and I know people are like, wow, you just do shows for a living. How hard can that be? When your mind is constantly at work, you're constantly thinking, you're constantly talking, you're thinking quickly, your mind goes quick. it gets tired. And this is, let me think how many shows this is for me today. It's a lot. Put it that way. No, I don't bet pizza money. A small bet for me is like, I don't know, $200, something like that. But yeah, we'll rock with it here. Yeah, I just Rick, are you not listening to the show? I completely just said I like Gonzaga over. These are not games I'm sending to customers. These are not, complete bangers, but yeah, I like some of these. I like some of these late games. I'll put a half a unit, quarter unit on these games, and we'll have some fun. So yeah, we'll do that. Doing shows now, it isn't easy, especially as many as I do. And a lot of this stuff is thinking quickly off the top of your head. No, I'm going to make it through. I don't go to bed till 2 or 3, but I just need to. I just need to chill out. I guess I always love to be doing stuff, but yeah, I don't go to bed anymore till 2 or 3. That's just how it is. That's how my mind is now. Larry, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm happy, man. I'm happy. We're heading to Hako tomorrow.
Oh, you're going a day earlier. Nice. I
Yeah.
know Donnie Rightside is on his way down there
Is he?
tomorrow.
Oh, bro.
Yes.
It's gonna be great, man. Wish you were here,
So
man.
that'll be fun. Yeah, maybe someday, Larry.
Let's hope, man.
We are. Oh, but that's a good talking point. We are not on the air tomorrow, guys. And thanks, Larry, for reminding me here.
Anytime,
We are
man.
not on the air. Yeah, we're not on the air tomorrow. We at SBR, there's a lot going on with the Super Bowl preparation. They're taking all the equipment down to Tahoe Beach, so we will not be on the air tomorrow night on this show. We will be off. What time do I get up? I get up at like about 10:30, 10:30 or so. Guys, if you have any questions, feel free to send them in. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We are going to do. Okay, we have till 10 o'clock, guys. We have 12 minutes till 10 o'clock. Here's what we're going to do. The best personal question asked to me is going to win a prize. So go. Go, go, go. Ask me any question you want. The best question wins a prize. We've went over all the games. We have our bets in. Now we have some fun. Thanks. I don't care about the Raptors going on a run. So we'll see how that goes. It's still, we'll see how it goes. Go, guys. The best question. Gets a prize. Yes, I will not be down there. Yeah, any question. Ask me something. Ask me something good. He needs a break from NBA. He was saying the other night how the contest was over and he's not going to lose. Have I lost my virginity yet? That's a good one. Yes, I have. I lost my virginity when I was 18. So you're a little late there. What's my bankroll? That's not that's no comment. Any felonies? Yes, I have a few. What was your first bet? Shit, man. My first bet. I can't remember actually. Probably something stupid when I was a kid. I mean, I've been betting since I was like 6 or 7 years old. G-strings or thongs on the ladies. Yeah, to be honest, I think just the regular thong's cool. I'm good with whatever. Why didn't I go to Costa Rica? Because I'm on the I can't travel outside of the United States, Capper John. Who makes the best cheesesteak in Philly? Talk of the Town, Phillips, or Tony Luke's? What percent of your bankroll should you bet on the Super Bowl? You should bet on the Super Bowl if you have an opinion, and you should bet one unit. Just because it's a big game doesn't mean you have to bet on it. A ton of money. Do I have any brothers or sisters? And do they gamble? Yes, I have a sister. She's 2 years younger than me. She does not gamble. My brother, he's 4 years younger than me. Yeah, he bets. I mean, he plays fantasy. He bets. Doesn't bet to the level of me, but yeah. I mean, my family bets. I mean, occasionally. My brother definitely does. What's my dream vacation spot to live when I'm retired? Probably Albania. Or Italy, somewhere like around there, or the shore. I mean, I love the Jersey Shore. What's the max bet for me? That's not relevant. I'm not answering how much a max bet is for me. Um, what's my favorite part of Goodfellas? Um, my favorite part of Goodfellas. I can't really say I have one. I'm not a big fan of the movie. How often do I beat off? Every other day, probably. Favorite part of Goodfellas, probably when um, Henry makes his bones as far as he gets arrested for the first time. He pops his cherry. And Robert De Niro says, you learned the greatest two rules: never rat on your friends and always keep your mouth shut. That was the best the moment. Unfortunately, though, Henry wasn't able to live up to that, and he became a fucking rat himself. So, uh, it was short lived. Thoughts on Maxwell Smart being the new king of college hoops? I don't know who that is. Why aren't you going to the Super Bowl in Costa Rica? I answered that already. My best subject in high school, definitely geography. Definitely. What's the most influential thing someone has said to you? Wow. Follow your passion, probably. Where do I see myself in 10 years? Frankly, I see myself probably, with a nice row home in South Philly with a nice car and my girl married probably. We have a kid or two, house down the shore, typical life, nothing crazy. But then again, I do kind of see myself as a billionaire, so we'll see. Um, have I ever had sex to an R. Kelly song? That might be the winner, actually. No, I can't answer that. No, I actually don't listen to music when I hook up. I'm not into that. I like to concentrate. Because I'd probably like sing and rap and shit. Godfather or Scarface? It's a good one. Scarface. What sporting event would I like to go to that I haven't been to yet? Um, Definitely like a Premier League game. Never been to one. My favorite meal. My favorite meal is probably I'm a big meatloaf guy, to be honest. It's kind of crazy, but I love it. Maybe Vol Parmesan. What's the most I've won at one tape setting at poker? I don't know, 5 or 6 thousand probably. What did I do to get on the no travel list? No opinion, no comment. My worst beat. My worst beat was the West Kentucky Central Michigan game in the Bahamas Bowl in 2014. That was my worst beat ever. Am I still losing weight? I am. It's taken a little back seat due to the holidays and kind of getting back into it. But yes, I'm back into it. I'm eating my meals again and trying to stick to it. Tupac or Biggie? Not even close. Biggie. What's the best way to learn how to be a constant winner? The consistent winner. I would say bet when you have an edge, quality over quantity. Learn as much as you can. What sport did I play growing up? I actually played baseball till I was 14 or 15. Played football when I was a kid as well. Do I look at porn to go to sleep? No, I don't look at porn to go to sleep. Thank you, Nuke Worker. Who wins an arm wrestling between Alex and Flash? I don't really know how. I don't know how strong Alex is. He seems like a tough guy. Flash is obviously a former a footballer. I would probably say Alex just because he is a bit younger, but I don't know. What's my goal in life? From his girl. That's a question from his girl. My goal in life is to steal you from Matt. Probably. It's my goal in life. I can't get it past. No, you can't. No, you cannot. What's my last meal request? Frankly, that's a great question. You know what? That's probably going to be. That's a top three. That's definitely in the running for the winner. Um, my death penalty meal would be. And this is crazy because I never eat this. But if I'm going to die, I would get 2 McDoubles from McDonald's, a large fry, and a 6-piece McNugget with a big Coke. That's the only time I'd ever eat McDonald's. But I feel like at that point in life, it would be quite good and quite tasty. So I would eat that. What was your last non-sports related job? I worked at a bank a few years ago. Do I love fat girls? Can't say that's my type, but I have nothing against them. I have nothing against anyone. We just all have our own type. My favorite SBR personality. Wow. My favorite SBR person in the history of SBR or right now? In the history of SBR, my favorite SBR personality was probably Joe Duffy. My Favorite one now probably would be, I don't know. I always like Gabe. I'd probably say right now, Drew Martin. Outside of Donnie, he's actually my friend. I would say Drew Martin. I like Drew Martin. Ian Cameron, I like both those guys. Where we else did we hear? How much do I weigh? I don't know. Think about 3 or so. What's my most embarrassing moment? I have many of them. Probably ever coming on the internet. That would probably be my first one. Thank you, Wayne. How much can I lift? I last time I benched, I benched 405. The most famous person I've met in person, uh, probably Allen Iverson many years ago. Do I like meatloaf? No. Condom or raw dog? No comment. Did I ever have a DUI? No. I don't drink. Am I from New Jersey? No, but we have a home there, my family and I. Why do you lie about winning when you lose long term and everyone knows it? I don't know. I guess I just try to look about the positives in life. What else do we have here? If you could join any mob family, what family would it be? Uh, Probably the Genovese crime family, just because they're a bit more business minded. Chin Gigante is probably my favorite mobster of all time. Why do I change your record to every 7 days? Um, my record's always at 30 days, pal. Do I take Viagra or Cialis? No, I take neither. My favorite subject in school was geography. We'll do a couple more here, and then we will wrap it up, and we'll get the best question. Who do I have in a fight, Larry versus Freddie? Ooh, that's a good question. Any opinion on that, Larry?
Watch out, man. You better take care of that answer, man. You better watch out
No,
for that
no.
answer,
Listen,
man.
here's what I'll say. I don't deal with Freddie much. He seems like a kind guy. I don't really know him, but I got a feeling Larry's tough. I got a feeling Larry, with the name Larry Hoover, would be tough. And I would probably pick him. I would think he would win.
Good call, man. Good call.
Thank you. You look like you eat McDonald's every day. Well, I don't. Surprising to learn. You might as well eat Mickey D since you're already gonna. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's my point, Alan. Action. You know. Do I believe in quantum physics? No. What happened to Joe Duffy? I like that guy. He's still around. I could actually do a mean Joe Duffy impersonation. Maybe I'll do that at the end. What positions did I play in baseball? I pitched, and in football, I was a linebacker. I probably should do a Joe Duffy impersonation. What's my biggest regret in life so far? Um, Frankly, my biggest regret in life is really sharing my personal life on the internet, like my name and stuff like that. It's been rewarding, but it's also been at times it's been a big bore, big too much sometimes. But I enjoy it. My biggest regret, I don't really have any. My favorite sport to bet on is college basketball. Um, is Kobe Valentine a certified douchebag? Definitely. Do I crab? No. What's my favorite sports movie? That's tough. Lot of good movies out there. Okay, I'll do the Joe Duffy impersonation 1 second. But one thing I am going to do is I'm going to pick a winner for the best question. There's been a couple good ones, but I have to say my favorite question was probably who wins an arm wrestling match between Alex and Flash. That was a good one. I like that one. Buckery. Make sure you DM me on Twitter. We'll get you a little prize. That was a good one. I like that one. A couple honorable mentions. I liked the last meal one. We can't pick everyone, but we'll try. A couple more questions. Jeff, why isn't your total record shown on the website? You always refresh weekly. Why don't you trust my plays? Well, I mean, we have 30 days. I have 30 days. If you ever want my full record, you can go to Handicapper Watchdog, where I'm certified and verified and tracked by a third party. So that should answer your questions, David. Thanks for watching. Bloods or Crips? Now, you should know I won't ever answer that. All right, let's do a Joe Duffy impersonation. People are asking. Hey, everybody, it's Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. Take a look Saturday at SBR. It's the tailgate party at 10 o'clock Eastern. It's the NCAA football edition. You get my tools of the trade and industry secrets. It's Joe Duffy, OffshoreInsiders.com. There you go. There you go. There's my Joe Duffy impersonation. Buckery saying he's not looking for a prize. All right. Sounds good. So we'll pick another question. We'll pick another one. I really want to pick David Espinal. He seems like he's in need of a prize, so seems like he's in a bad mood. So I wish we could pick him, but I have a feeling he doesn't want to share his real name because I don't think David's his real name. You know what? I'm actually going to go with the last meal, the Allen Action one. I like that one. I'm a big food guy, as we can see. I'm going to pick him, Allen Action. You're the winner. Get at me on Twitter, and we'll get you a little prize. Thank you. I'm glad you all liked it. Do I drink a lot of water? Yes, I do. I'm drinking water right now. Thank you. I can do plenty of other impersonations as well. But Larry, let's wrap it up here. We'll go on for 1 minute or two here, and then we'll wrap it up. What percentage of cappers truly make a living betting sports? Out of 100 cappers, I would say 1 or 2. Hey, David, you know what you get for a prize? Come knock on my door, and you get a fucking quick fucking right to the face. How about that's your prize? That's your prize, pal. Who's Cassie or Casey? Why is she pissed at me? What did I do? Warriors or Sixers? We didn't play it. We weren't on that game. What's your Twitter handle, Espinal? Why would I unblock you? You seem like a fucking clown. Why would I unblock you? Klay Thompson's out tonight. Kind of like the Sixers then. I like them at the points. If I had to pick it, I'd pick the Warriors, or I'd pick the Sixers, but not enough to play it. Let's check in on the NBA, see what's going on. Nets are still winning. And what a surprise. Bucks are back up 13. So much for that big run they were going to go on. Also, guys, want to put this out there as well. The Whale Capper, great handicapper. He works here on Twitter on the SBR page. Did a great podcast. Check that out. I was on it. A couple other handicappers on the Super Bowl. Some real good stuff. That was cool. I didn't give her the prize. Well, she didn't answer the question. So I can't pick everybody. What's your Twitter name, Espinali? I just asked you. What's your Twitter name? DJ Big Boss's last meal is a seafood plate, a barbecue plate, a fried chicken with ice cream. Wow, a lot of food, DJ Big Boss. We like our food, bigger guys. That's good. Should you bet the Lakers? Yes. But you should only bet it if you're getting the best line. We took it at 1.5, but it's at 2 everywhere. So I don't know about that one. I'll tell you what, I would really like the Nets to cover tonight. I'll tell you, I would really like that. Does anyone give the Warriors a chance for the title? Can anyone fight? I don't think. All right, this idiot says he follows me. I blocked him. Yes, I did block him. Well, my guess is you probably said something stupid. But you know what I will do, David? Since you asked, but you were a complete prick. So no, I'm not going to unblock you. You come on my chat and ask me stupid questions that you know the answer to, and you try to embarrass me in front of my friends. As Joe Pesci said in Goodfellas, I should hit you over the face with a bottle like he did. If you have a question, you contact me. You don't embarrass me in front of my friends on Twitter. He says it's all love. Unblock me. Bro, you were just in this chat 5 minutes ago telling me I'm a loser because I don't show my record and all this stuff. I mean, and I look like I eat McDonald's every day. Bro, fuck you. I'm not unblocking you. Get out of here. Beat it. Larry, what do you think? I should unblock this guy, should I? I mean, this guy's been a total prick. I shouldn't unblock this guy. No.
You know what, man? You know what? he was kind
What?
of a dick, but everybody deserves a second chance, right?
Yeah, that's right. I had a feeling you would say that.
I don't
Um,
know. I don't know.
and
You should give him one chance, but it's just one chance.
yeah, maybe you're right.
Maybe,
Um,
maybe I don't know.
you know what? Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna unblock him. I'm gonna give him a chance. He acted like a prick for a while, and now he's throwing down the white flag. We see him asking nicely. You know what? All right, we'll unblock him. But again, David, I don't put up with this stuff anymore. Like if you're a dick to me, I'm just gonna get rid of you. I don't have time for it. So we'll go ahead and unblock you, and everybody's fine again. But cut out the crap. So there we go. So there we go. I made a friend. How about that? Now listen, 5 minutes ago, David was telling me all I eat is McDonald's, and now we're friends. How about that? You can be nice to people, and you can get nice things back. What would Jesus do? That's a good point. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. Fun show tonight. Enjoyed having some fun here on the show. The old me would have never unblocked David, but maybe I'm making strides here. We'll wrap it up. We're going to take the Lake Show tonight for a free play here on the show, and we're also on the over in the Gonzaga game. Everyone have a great night, and we will see you all Monday. We're not here tomorrow night. Everyone have a great night. Thanks to Larry for producing, and thanks to Greg Peterson for his candor a little bit earlier. Everyone have a great night. Bye-bye.